What is the role of the special education teacher in the IEP process? Welcome back to another episode of the IEP Questions series. In our previous video, we discussed the parent side of the IEP and why it is important for parents to be present in their child's life. If you missed that video, you can watch it here. Now let's assume you know the duties of parents and their roles in the IEP process. You also know the importance of advocating for your child. The next step is to understand the role of the teacher, because the more you know about the teacher's role, the better you will be able to assess the impact on your child's progress. Overall, the role of the special education teacher in the Individualized Education Program, or IEP process, is multifaceted and essential for creating an effective, individualized plan for a student with disabilities. So they are responsible for providing information about the student's strengths, weaknesses, and needs. They also work with the IEP team to develop goals and objectives for the student and to ensure that the IEP is implemented effectively. But in detail, what do they do? Well, here are some of the primary responsibilities and roles of the special education teacher during the IEP process. Role number 1, assessment. The special education teacher often plays a role in evaluating the student's current levels of performance. This involves both formal and informal assessments, observations, and reviews of prior school records. For context, formal assessments are typically standardized tests that are administered to all students in a grade level or subject area. They provide information about the student's overall academic achievement, as well as their strengths and weaknesses in specific areas. Informal assessments are typically teacher-created tools that are used to gather more specific information about the student's learning progress. They can include things like checklists, rubrics, and portfolios. Observations are another important part of the assessment process. Special education teachers observe students in the classroom to learn how they learn and interact with others. This information can be used to identify areas where a student may need additional support. Reviews of prior school records can also provide valuable information about the student's academic history and any previous interventions that have been tried. This information can be used to develop a more individualized plan of support for the student. With that being said, let's talk about their second role. Role number 2, development. Once the student's current levels of performance and strengths and weaknesses are known, the special education teacher then works with the IEP team to develop measurable annual goals. So these goals are to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific. The goal should be clear and concise, and it should state exactly what the student is expected to do or learn. For example, instead of saying the student will improve their reading comprehension, the goal could be the student will read a grade level text and answer 75% of the comprehension questions correctly. Measurable. The goal should be able to be measured in some way. This means that there should be a way to determine whether or not the student has achieved the goal. For example, the goal, the student will improve their reading comprehension, could be measured by giving the student a reading comprehension test before and after the intervention. Achievable. The goal should be challenging but achievable. It should be something that the student can realistically achieve with the right support. For example, the goal, the student will read a grade level text and answer 100% of the comprehension questions correctly, may not be achievable for a student who is struggling with reading comprehension. Relevant. The goal should be relevant to the student's individual needs. It should focus on something that the student needs to learn or do in order to be successful in school and in life. For example, the goal: the student will learn how to use the restroom independently may be relevant for a student with a physical disability. Time-bound. The goal should have a specific time frame for completion. This will help to ensure that the goal is kept on track and that the student is making progress towards it. For example, the goal: the student will read a grade-level text and answer 75% of the comprehension questions correctly, could be time-bound by saying the student will achieve this goal by the end of the school year. Assessments done, development also done. What next? Role number 3, implementation. Once the IEP is developed, the special education teacher is responsible for implementing the plan, delivering the specialized instruction, and ensuring that accommodations and modifications are provided as stated in the IEP. Implementing the plan. The special education teacher is responsible for implementing the IEP in a way that meets the student's individual needs. This may involve working with the student in a resource room, providing one-on-one tutoring, or collaborating with the general education teacher to modify lesson plans. Delivering specialized instruction. The special education teacher is also responsible for delivering specialized instruction to the student. This instruction may be different from the instruction that is provided to other students in the general education classroom. The special education teacher may use a variety of methods to deliver specialized instruction, such as using visual aids, providing hands-on activities, or working with the student in small groups. Ensuring accommodations and modifications. The special education teacher is also responsible for ensuring that the student receives the accommodations and modifications that are specified in the IEP. Accommodations are changes that are made to the way that instruction is delivered to the student. Modifications are changes that are made to the content of the instruction. The special education teacher may work with the student, the general education teacher, and other members of the IEP team to ensure that the student receives the accommodations and modifications that they need. Monitoring progress. The special education teacher is also responsible for monitoring the student's progress and making adjustments to the IEP as needed. The special education teacher will meet with the student regularly to assess their progress and to make sure that they are on track to meet their goals. If the student is not making progress, the special education teacher may work with the IEP team to make adjustments to the IEP. In addition to their whole roles, special education teachers are also responsible for collaborating with other IEP team members. Special education teachers work with parents, general education teachers, school psychologists, speech therapists, occupational therapists, and other professionals to gather input and develop an IEP that meets the student's individual needs. Documenting student progress. Special education teachers track student progress toward meeting IEP goals and use this information to make adjustments to the IEP as needed. Communicating regularly with parents. Special education teachers keep parents informed about student progress and address any concerns that parents may have. Reviewing student progress and revising the IEP. Special education teachers review student progress at least once a year and revise the IEP as needed. Advocating for students. Special education teachers advocate for students and ensure that they receive the services they need to succeed. This may involve advocating for students to receive specific accommodations or modifications, or to be placed in a particular setting. Transition planning. For older students, special education teachers help them prepare for life after school. This may involve helping students develop post-school goals, identify resources, and make connections with potential employers or post-secondary institutions. In the essence, the special education teacher plays a central role throughout the IEP process, ensuring that the student's unique needs are identified, addressed, and met through individualized instruction and support. And what if the special education teacher performs all these roles? Your child will receive the support they need to succeed. The teacher will develop an individualized education plan, IEP, that is tailored to your child's individual needs. This plan will outline the specific supports and services that your child will receive in order to make progress in school. Your child is more likely to make progress. With the right support, your child will be able to make academic and social-emotional progress. They will be able to learn new skills, develop their talents, and build relationships with their peers and teachers. Your child will feel more supported. The teacher will provide your child with the support they need to feel confident and successful. So they will offer encouragement, guidance, and assistance when needed. You will be more involved. The teacher will keep you informed about your child's progress and involve you in the IEP process. You will have the opportunity to share your insights and work together with the teacher to create a plan that meets your child's needs. Your school will be more inclusive. The teacher will create a more inclusive environment for your child with a disability. This will benefit all students as they will learn to appreciate and respect people with different abilities. That's all for today. Not only do you now know the roles of the special education teacher for your child's sake, but you as a parent also know all that is required from the special education teacher on your child's behalf. We promise to keep transforming the IEP process with thoughtful questions like this. The ultimate goal of an IEP is to provide the child with a roadmap for success. This can happen in a regular education classroom, a special education classroom, or a combination of settings. The important thing is that the child is making progress and that their unique needs are being met. For a child with learning struggles, parents can help meet those needs at home. Remember, a parent is a child's first teacher. You, as a parent, with the right guidance, can help your child overcome learning struggles by doing simple exercises at home. How do you do that? Well, with the Learning Success System, of course. So the Learning Success System is an educational therapy program designed to help parents work with their children at home to improve foundational learning skills. It focuses on things like visual and auditory processing, proprioception, and spatial awareness, among others. By working on these skills, children can overcome specific learning disabilities, such as dyslexia, dyscalculia, and dysgraphia, and also become more confident in their abilities. When a child has strong foundational skills, it becomes easier for them to learn and understand new concepts in school. For example, good visual tracking skills can help a child read more efficiently, while strong auditory memory skills can make it easier to follow spoken instructions. By building up these skills using the Learning Success System, you can help your child become more successful in school and better equipped to handle academic challenges. And to learn more about IEPs, watch our full playlist that goes into depth on IEPs. We cover the subject deeply so you can be a fully informed parent. You can get that playlist right here.